I'd like to get him to do it. Whoever's hosting is what should be
Good
up
evening.
here. Or we change the name.
We changed, okay, yeah.
I'm
Boy,
okay.
I look like I really got burnt.
Yeah, well, that's that makeup you put on.
Good evening, welcome. I want to say thanks to the young lady at the Harbor House.
Oh, thank you.
You too. The Harbor House again for saying hello and saying she watches the show 2 times in a row now. That's great. That's great. I think we are getting more people watching because they're saying so, or I hear them say so. Anyway, let's go through the first thing. It was in the paper today, and we will go through anything new on seniors, except that we're getting older.
Speak for yourself.
So the first thing in the paper today was an article on the referendum, and there's a petition that's going around. It was by John Russell and a few other people.
Republican
and
Party.
I think they had received, Cat Goulart, received 336 signatures. Now there was only 5 signatures to a page, because this is all written out and everything. So divide 5 divided by 3.
That's like 60
3
or
into
something.
33, and that's like 60,
Something.
almost 70 pages. So they have to go through that to verify all the signatures were real, and they'll have to do something.
Yeah, they got to drop it. They got to drop the.
And they, honestly, they can drop it $1.
Yeah, they can. I don't think people out there realize that.
No, people don't.
They can drop it 50 cents.
Yeah. But
And then you have to go through the whole charade again if you
Right.
want to
we'll
challenge
put it on a referendum in November. Well, we've tried this before with Lot,
Yeah.
and it took so long. You wait till November, and it passes. Half the year is gone already. So what are they going to do? Then they have to credit it back to the.
Oh, yeah.
So I think if we had more knowledgeable voters in this city, things would be different. But
I think
you've got
there's-
all these people, these older people mostly, and probably a lot of younger. It's true.
I know.
We'll smack them.
All they have is, at the end of their name is a D, and they don't care. My parents voted this way. My grandparents voted this way. I'm voting this way. And
Yeah.
they just say, really, they stay ignorant to what is going on in this city.
It's funny you should say that about the families voting Democrat and so forth and so on. My neighbors, very, very nice people. I'm not sure. I think they're Puerto Rican, but they could be Mexican. I don't know. Anyways, I said to the woman, I said, "Are you going to vote for Trump?" And she goes, "I don't know Trump. What is he?" I said, "He's a Republican." "Oh, no, I don't vote for Republican." I said, "Do you know who the Democratic president is right now?" "Some Biden guy." I said, "Yes." "Do you know what he's done so far?" "No, I don't pay attention to that." I said, "Well, why are you voting Democrat?" "Well, because it was almost like my grandmother voted Democrat, my mother voted Democrat, my father voted Democrat, my brothers voted Democrat. I vote Democrat." "But you don't know what you're voting for."
No.
"No, but I vote Democrat."
But
"Okay.
I think it's just stupid.
You should be voting for the person you feel is going to do the best job.
For you.
And-
Don't care, don't matter.
And
what
this
party.
guy, he's over in France for the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and a lot of countries are against him for what he hasn't done, for what he's done and hasn't done.
Yeah.
The one thing he said, from what I probably agree with, is Europe doesn't pay their fair share,
That's
which
been
is
the-
true.
That's been the case forever, and that
Forever.
needs a
And they
change.
still owe us for World War II.
Well, the same thing's going on in the Ukraine. We're not selling that stuff to them, renting all that equipment to them. We're just giving it to them.
Right. And we will probably help
We are.
rebuild them if this ever ends, unless Putin decides to use a nuke, but if he ever used a nuke, he might as well kiss his butt goodbye.
But look what we're doing. You know, no matter how you feel about this Ukrainian-Russian war, we're sticking our nose in it really big time. Now you could, there's something for trying to save lives. There's something for what the government of Ukraine and stuff. I mean, Ukraine is like one of the biggest money laundering countries in the world. But the thing is we're giving them all this equipment to fight Russia. Now he's talking about, Joey Boy is talking about giving them some other kind of advanced drone that can go right into Moscow. And Russian guy saying, well, look, if you're going to do that, then, I can give special weapons and stuff to other countries that don't like you, that are much closer to you. So where's this going? Suppose he, let's see, what country hates us really bad that's close to us?
Iran.
No, closer than that. But that's a good one.
China.
I was thinking South America. Anyways.
South America's nowhere close. Oh, close to us.
Us, United States. He could, like Cuba even. He could do that whole Cuba thing again. Put missiles there, and they got a base there. But what I'm saying is that we're escalating something because this president and his whole committee, and probably the war machines, are pushing for this for their own little reason and money.
Who do you think is pushing for this? Who do you think?
I think the big powers, whether it's people that build weapons, companies that build weapons. See, there's another factor here. You got this BlackRock, I think, and there's another one that they own
a company?
Yeah,
BlackRock?
it's like they own practically the whole world. They're at the top. Countries go by what these people are doing. And like, if you're smart, you'll take some money and you'll invest it in Caterpillar heavy-duty equipment. Because BlackRock, if I heard this right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a big boy, have the rights or the building rights to rebuild Ukraine. Now, where's that money going to come from to rebuild Ukraine? Probably mostly us. And we're, it's not fair to the people in this country, that kind of stuff.
There's a lot of things that aren't fair to this country, the people of this country, because again, the people of this country are too ignorant to realize things. But you're absolutely right about, they're ignorant to the fact that if we had had a stronger president, this wouldn't be happening right now.
No.
If we, and Caterpillar is you're right about Caterpillar.
Yeah,
and
I should have invested years ago.
I don't know, month and a half, invested in Caterpillar. That was one of the top issues that was picked. If you really want to, BlackRock is not in the top 5.
I thought I read somewhere.
No, Apple is a $3 trillion stock company. NVIDIA is, I heard a friend told me, bypassed Apple. And it's a chip stock. It's the most wanted chip in the world. And it's phenomenal. The stock will be splitting after tomorrow, 10 for 1.
See, I read something where they said the stock market tomorrow was going to explode.
Oh, after tomorrow, NVIDIA splits. But at the end, June 26th, Chipotle is splitting 50 for 1. If you've got any money and you really want to invest in two companies, those two companies would be the ones to do it because they're already talking about a post-rally split.
Okay, so wait a minute. Say you're a senior. Say you're 73, 75, 71, 2, whatever. At that age, is it wise to invest
in those two companies?
Even Caterpillar?
Yes. It depends what kind of account you have. And I have told people over the years, young people especially, If you don't have a Roth IRA, you should, because it's free money afterwards. Now, the people who are, I think it's under 62 or under 65, if you are working and you make $1,000 a week, I don't know, and your take-home pay, I don't know, say 20%, so it's $800. You should be taking $200 at least a month, or you could take $200 a week if you can afford it, because you are allowed to put up to I think it's $6,000 or $6,500 into a Roth IRA, after-tax money, into a Roth IRA. Invest it in the market. Do mutual funds, do individual stocks, whatever the ones you like. By the time, and say they start doing this at 30.
Oh, well, yeah.
And by the time you are 60, 70, and those stocks, usually, we've gone through crashes.
Oh, yeah.
The market always has come back within 6 to 12 months and better. So if you invest properly, and just say you invested in 10 years, take that, 10 years. So say that's $6,000. That's $60,000. You invested properly, and say it's worth $300,000. Let's say 300. That $240,000 that is capital gains is tax-free.
Yeah, see, you're losing me, to be honest. I don't understand a lot of that.
It's easy, and I mean, I've got
And
a friend.
I don't think it's
I've got
meant
a
to be
friend-
easy.
It's easy. It really is. I have a friend who does options, and he was up $12,000 from NVIDIA before yesterday. After yesterday, he was up 32,000. But I mean, the options are a lot harder. But the regular market, just investing, is really easy. I could show you very simply. And because people over 65 are allowed to invest up to $8,000 into a Roth IRA now.
You need the contact. No, I don't mean you need, but you should contact a tax person, and you and them do a show.
I've talked to my brokerage. I have friends who are accountants, and this is all real.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not
This is all
real.
So, but anyway, let's go back. The money that we spent in World War II, 80th anniversary, and we spent money to rebuild Europe as well. We have never gotten paid back.
No, well, we got a statue.
And probably the woke community want to get rid of that statue because they don't even believe it. This is how stupid the woke community is. Do you think we're going to be eventually getting into World War III?
If we do,
I hope it's after I'm dead.
yeah, me too. But I think if we do, it's going to be all because of people sticking their noses in the wrong place. I mean, when it comes to Iran and stuff, I feel sorry for the people there, but their government helped contribute to
Well, half
to
the
this.
population is against their government.
Well, you know, the Russians have also said, and please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but during the Second World War, Ukraine's, there were more Nazi.
Did you know Steven Seagal?
And I've seen pictures where they're beating on this woman who's a Jew, and they're Ukrainians.
Ukraine
They're
was not
Ukrainian.
a good country.
No,
Steven
still not.
Seagal just accepted an award from Russia, and he mentioned that back in the war, I mean, what you said about
Yeah.
Ukraine, they were rapists, they were all these things.
Yeah, there was a lot of. Still to this
So-
day, there's still some Russians living there.
There's so
it's-
much of this crap going around.
People got to start waking up and realizing that we can't have somebody like Biden representing us in this whole situation, especially with the Ukraine. But he has so much money and stuff there. That's what that's all about. But if something goes down bad, everybody's going to suffer. If,
But I don't
if the-
believe Russia is. Biden is running the country.
Oh, I don't
No,
either.
I don't either.
I think it's Obama.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
He hasn't left.
Yeah.
No.
And if you want to talk about pieces of
And
shit,
he's ridiculous.
it's Obama.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know what I had heard when he first got in office, Obama, one of the first things he did was he cut money to black colleges.
I heard that, and Trump gave money back to
Yeah,
black colleges.
Trump's always giving money.
And I think it's permanent. Trump made it permanent. So
But I mean, come on. How many people voted for him?
because
I
he
joke.
he was black. That's all. The
I-
reason he
I was
voted
joking.
for him.
I
And
was-
he's not really black.
I was going to say, I didn't think he was.
No, he's
His
not.
mother was white.
And his
another
father,
piece-
his father
another
was
piece of dog
Malaysian or
crap.
something.
And he didn't know his father. He admitted this was dreams of my father. How do you know the dream if you never lived with your father? That's what
No,
I.
there's a
that's
lot
what
of things
objection-
people just don't pay attention to
They don't.
anymore, and this is why we're in the situation
Yeah.
we're in now, between national and local.
And Michelle walks up after they win and says, "First time I'm proud to be an American." What that should have told you something right there.
Okay, can we change?
Yeah. All right. Do you want to change to this, or do you want to change to this?
Let's talk about Nolan.
Okay.
Nolan, everybody.
This is Anthony Nolan, who has been. He's a good police officer.
Oh yeah,
He's a lousy representative.
he's coasting. Is he still a cop?
No.
He's not. So he gave up a cop's job
Yeah. This is
to
sad.
do
Do you know?
that.
Do you know what?
They don't
they
make that
said.
much money.
What is the salary for a state representative?
It's only like 34, I think. I think they gave themselves a raise recently.
They did.
So maybe
did.
40. It's not a lot. But it's only a part-time job too. They claim. They claim.
especially this year because is this
COVID,
year-
it must have really been slow.
is this a election year for state reps?
No.
Why would we get that?
Because this year is only a half. Because I think they were running. It's only it's a half year or something like that.
Something like that.
So I don't know, but according to this, and what Dennis gave me, he says, I voted for historic tax cuts, and I want to know when. This year? Last year? Largest income tax cut in state history. Really?
Yeah, how come we don't hear about it? I don't remember seeing anything
We
in the
still
paper.
have a state income tax of what? 5%?
Oh, I don't know. No, the last I remember was 6.
That's the sales tax.
Oh, okay. Too many taxes. We started this whole friggin' country to get away from taxes. And we're right back where we started.
This
Yeah.
is exactly what the Boston Tea Party, to get rid of these taxes. We've got more we had 2 or 3 taxes when, as early, I think, or whatever it was, a handful of taxes as early as, I think, in the 1900s.
Think about this. You get up in the morning, you got to go to work. So you go out, you get in your car, which you're paying taxes on, and you stop at the gas station and get gas, which you're paying taxes on, and you drive down and you stop at Dunkin' Donuts to get a coffee and a sandwich, which you're paying taxes on, and when you get to work, anything you buy at work, you pay taxes on. When you get paid, oh boy, you pay taxes on it. But when you buy something, you pay taxes again and again and again. And everybody's okay with
Look at
that.
your cable bill, look at your electric bill, look how many taxes there are. It's supposed to be taxation with representation. This is taxation without.
Well, we don't really have that in London.
We don't have good politicians in a lot of the
Yeah.
country. We really don't.
So what other imaginary things did Mr. Nolan?
Increased Connecticut's earned income tax credit for low-income workers, now one of the largest in the U.S. Well,
It probably is the largest,
maybe.
but I don't know.
I don't know. For low income, I'm not low income. I'm just retired
So you're
or
one
partially
so
retired.
you're one of them.
Partially retired?
No, rich people.
I'm not rich.
Wow.
It
You're not
depends
middle
what you-
class.
It depends what you want to count as rich. If you want to count what I'm earning a year,
You know when a man is rich?
when?
When he can take his wife wherever she wants to go, even when you don't want to go.
Okay.
That's all.
No, I'm not rich.
Go ahead.
Expanded exemptions for retirement income such as Social Security, pensions, and annuity. Really? I haven't seen any exemptions on my Social Security unless this is voted for this year, that we won't see it until next year.
Wait a minute now. How do we know that wasn't voted in just for state workers? They all got raises.
State workers don't get paid Social Security.
All state workers don't pay Social Security?
I know teachers don't.
Yeah, I know teachers don't, but
I'm
that's
not sure if
something they chose themselves. Then their
No,
union
I don't know
screwed
if they
them up.
chose it. I think somebody
they
chose
had a
it for them.
choice.
And I don't know if this is all state workers.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, I don't
No,
know.
I know. I just hit me because I just remember
I mean,
hearing.
Gina Oriama just got a contract extension for 5 years for $18.5 million.
Who's
Yeah.
he?
The head coach for the women's basketball team.
Can
at
someone tell me
UConn.
what they do that they worth that kind of money?
What does he do?
Any
for-
coach.
He's the coach.
I
He's
know,
the
but-
coach. He brings money into the college for being successful.
Wouldn't you think
Brings
that
money into
it's
his
the
own
people,
pocket.
the players are the ones that are successful? And they're the ones that bring in the money?
Yeah, they can now earn money on their face.
Well, they should, I think.
right.
but,
No,
Anyways, go ahead.
he brings, okay, so I don't know
That's too
where
much
these
money.
expanded exemptions are. Do we have, is anybody out there listening? Can you call in and let us know? Families of 4, that's not us,
No.
making $50,000 or less annually will pay no state income taxes. Well, I don't know if they pay any income tax to begin with.
Well, if they do, they're probably getting a lot of it back.
And they get a lot of it back.
See, they don't
So,
talk about that.
I mean, and then the vast majority of filers will receive tax relief. How is that possible?
So every tax filer is going to.
How are they going to give tax relief?
How much money do we have?
Billions. That's. This is.
Who's that other one that got voted?
I don't know. I don't know how that's possible.
That Democrat that got voted. She was a city councilor. She had like
Martha.
wigged out hair.
Max.
Who?
Martha.
Martha
Yeah.
Marks?
Oh yeah, Martha. Yeah. Has anybody seen her?
I haven't seen her. I haven't heard anything of what she does. I really.
Is she still a nurse? Or,
Yes.
But she's not head of the union. I think
Yes.
my lady down. I think my neighbor down the street is a union leader.
Really?
Yeah,
Maybe she
first
stepped down
name's
from that.
Connie.
But I know she's still a nurse. I don't know. I do know that if she had, the only reason she won was Paul Formica didn't vote, he retired. She wouldn't have run. She wouldn't have won.
Oh well.
But
Let's move on if we can.
so people, if you're out there, I wish people would pay attention, read. It's the same thing like when I was getting a haircut yesterday, and the barber was saying somebody came in and they were talking about one of the city councilors. And when he was I guess he's young, he has a kid. Hold on, caller. All right,
Yes, to
um,
middle button.
I know. Good evening, you're on. There we go. Good evening, you're on.
You're talking about taxes. I have a question to ask you. Did you read the paper today about that new apartment building downtown?
We have it, and we haven't gotten to it yet, so go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
You obviously read the article, right?
We have the article.
Did you read it yet? Did you
Yes.
read it today?
Yes.
Well, actually, I did some.
Did
I
you
haven't.
see where they get a 20-year tax break?
100%?
No, I think it's 20-something%. I don't remember the number. But check, it's a very big article, but check through and it gives you the figure of 20 years. Did you get a break on your taxes for 20 years?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Well, it's,
My break is I have to pay more.
Yeah, yeah. And you know why? Because you live in that rich neighborhood like I do.
you know, and the fact that the council, except for one, don't like me, they're racist towards me, that I don't have to pay any taxes. I don't
You
pay
have to
none.
pay any- Boy, you're lucky, huh?
I am. I'm a lucky
Jeez.
man.
Lucky. Okay, I'm waiting for you guys to talk about that big article of that ugly monstrous
Okay,
building.
all right, we'll
that
talk
belongs
about
down
that.
there. All right, talk to you guys
Thank
later.
you.
All
Bye.
right,
Bye.
thank you.
So, to finish my story, he had a teacher at, I think it was New London High. And now that he's a father and has children or something, he went to the principal and said, I don't care what you do not put my child in that person's class. He is a horrible teacher. And they have heard many stories about this counselor
Oh, the one on our council
on
now?
our council. He's been on the council for many, many years.
There's only one teacher on the council.
I'm not mentioning his name.
All right, folks. Let's see if you can figure it out. If
So-
you do, you'll win a pen.
And the only reason I think this guy gets reelected is because he's Hispanic. And
Yeah, well,
of
of course.
The Spanish population or Hispanic population does not pay attention to anything.
Well, you got to admit, they're going to feel more comfortable. I don't know how a good way of putting any of this is, but they're going to feel more comfortable with someone that's like them. They can understand. They can speak to them. They can understand. And they
But they
don't.
came to this country because they
know.
wanted to live better and have better
I know
taxes,
it.
right?
I wonder about that. They come here, and instead of becoming part of America and the group to get away from all that crap you came from, they just build their own little city.
But they did that back in the 1800s also. In the
Yes.
1900s, they gave them the
yeah,
Italians
that's
stayed
true.
together.
That is true.
The Polish stayed together. They stayed in their own cliques until everybody eventually
It was
didn't.
safer
No.
that way.
Yeah, probably, but okay. You start with. We're going on
the-
to that building. First of all, the building is ugly as sin.
Oh yeah, yeah. It doesn't belong downtown. And the apartments, I think they're like $1,400 to $1,600.
No, $1,700.
Okay. Do they have utilities? Is utilities included in it?
Utilities are included.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I read that too. But
Where is
the
it?
biggest, it's right next to the old Salvation Army. So remember, for the longest time, there was nothing there, just these like pillars of cement.
But
on-
you know the
in
other thing
ground.
is there an elevator in there? I
Yes.
didn't get the impression there was an elevator.
There's got to be an elevator.
It said that
Well,
that
one of the new buildings downtown,
This.
there is not an elevator.
there is the thing on the outside. There was that walkway. That was the way up. No elevator? How
Where-
could
where
they get
is no
away with that?
elevator?
There's a three-story building,
2-story?
three,
Where?
on right across from ShopRite.
Oh, those.
Oh, you're talking those new
condos.
buildings?
Those new
Yeah,
buildings.
that okay.
Well,
There's
there's
no
probably
elevator
there's
in those.
probably a code. Feel sorry for the guy that's carrying a refrigerator.
How many stories is that? 5?
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the biggest bitch I have about this building is, and the story was about how it's given developers new ideas on how to build faster apartments, really. But how in the hell did a historic society agree to this? This is not historic.
Welcome
Not
to
at
New-
all.
Welcome to New London.
But wait, there's more. Mr. Cornish, when he was alive, bought 2 buildings not far from here that he wanted to turn into one apartment with the store thing on it and all that. And he was going to pay the city $50,000 in taxes. Don't sound like an abatement to me, but maybe it still was. And the Historic Society wouldn't let him do it. One of his buildings was old and falling apart.
Right.
The other one was covered with aluminum siding. So I don't know how that's historic. But they let this pass, and the mayor had no problem with it. Council had no problem with it. And this is supposed to show what our city used to be like.
Maybe we have to start getting into the 21st century? Who knows?
I think we're gonna, whether we want to or not.
Well, yeah, you're going. Have you seen those futuristic movies where everything is really modern and
But
stuff?
you know the one thing
George Jetson's going to be flying
what do you
up.
got to say?
About that and nothing.
Did you know George Jetson is going to start flying his space thing up from there?
I think they built a spot on top of this building for him. Yeah. But you got to watch out for Dean. Oh no, that's the other guy.
I still can't picture where that is.
Trust me, when you figure it out,
Where this
you'll-
building is?
Yeah.
It's on Bank Street.
you know the seafood place that's over here, and there's the a rumba place next to
You
it.
mean across from where we used to be?
Yes.
Adjacent?
Oh, yeah,
right
pretty
near,
much.
yes.
Oh, the one that's a prefab.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
That's a prefab.
Yeah. Okay.
And you
I
know,
where it
next
is.
across the street,
It looks like a prefab.
across the street, on Willits, across the street from the side I'm on, basically, they put up 2 more of those buildings. I don't know if it's for what people it is, homeless people or whatever, for them to live.
Homeless hospitality?
I think that may be it. There's 2 buildings they put together, prefab there.
Yes, on
On
right,
Willits,
right off of Willits.
right behind the funeral home.
Yes. And I did read something about those are homeless hospitality, but those are apartments. I don't know how much those are. But how did they get off saying this was going to be for more? They said, didn't they say something about low income?
Well,
In
their
this?
idea, low income, is $1,600 to $1,700.
That's right.
That's their low income. Hey, if you want to pay $25, we can move you up in the class. You know, but
I don't understand, I really don't understand this building, and especially if it doesn't have an elevator.
now
I
I
wouldn't
ran
want to
into
walk up 5 flights every.
I ran into somebody downtown the other day.
2.
By the way, I went into the snack store down there,
Yeah, I went in there
Yeah.
once.
and this guy comes up to me and he goes, "I know you," and I said, "You do?" So he got one on me. "Who are you?" He goes, "I watch you guys on TV." He goes, and I just love the show. So we're leaving, and I see this woman going into, using the key to get into the door because she's got an apartment upstairs. So I said, "What's it like up there?" She goes, "Oh, it's kind of nice. I pay $1,600 a month. It's a really good deal." And I'm thinking, huh? Okay. And so I said, "Excuse me," I said, you have any sprinklers in your apartment?" She goes, "I never looked." I said, "You should look." Because that's one of the reasons Cornish told me that a lot of people don't want to put apartments upstairs when they have the stores down there
They have to have a
because they have to have the,
sprinkler
and he goes, and none of these buildings are set up for sprinkler systems.
This has to.
Yeah, but they're doing it from scratch, so it's easy. Trying to put a sprinkler system in some of these buildings now,
Oh, right.
it's gonna be a friggin' nightmare.
Why is the Capitol Theater, it's got the sign on there for sale again?
Because the guy who bought it for $1 last time,
Couldn't do anything with it.
he's not seeing New London doing what everyone else down here thinks it's gonna do. That's the only thing I can think of.
You want to say something?
No.
You have no senior stuff this year?
Oh, there's
this
lots
week?
of senior stuff.
Well, tell us about it. Seniors
What
wanna
do you wanna
know. Well, anything cool coming up?
Well, now make up your mind. You want me to tell you about it, or you want something cool?
I want you to tell me about stuff for seniors.
Nothing.
Wow.
Is the
No.
recreation center, that new one they're building on,
Yeah.
are they going to have anything for seniors?
Well, supposedly, but we have to pay for it.
Are you going to use it?
No, I won't.
Are you going to use it, Dennis?
I might run 5 or 6 miles a day on
Oh,
it.
Jesus. Do
What do
that
you
for
think?
$10. You
What
can
do
do
you
that for $10 a month.
Why
in
should
Planet
I-
Fitness.
Anybody in this town that pays to go to that thing, with the amount of taxes we pay, and not being represented if you're not a Democrat, and just whatever,
But the low
Should-
income are going to get in for
should-
nothing, right?
No, no. They're going to have to pay something. At
Everybody
least that's
has
what
to
I
pay.
understand.
That's what they said. Of course, they don't have the board figured out yet, so they don't know.
Are they still trying to get money?
They've
Oh,
been getting
well-
money,
They're
They
up to
went from-
40,000.
40 million.
Yeah, 40 million.
They started out at 30.
30.
40, I think it's more than that now, too.
Well, today it was 40. So, yeah.
Okay,
The city's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Really is.
yeah. And they don't have,
so I want to jump back if I can here.
no.
Okay, Ma.
What do you want to jump back on? You brought
No. That's what I did, huh? You're driving home. What was I going to say? Oh,
I got my glasses.
so folks, you remember, this is really kind of pissing me off. You remember the rainbow that we were talking
that's
about?
the other, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
now,
I knew there was
That's a
something else I
joke.
wanted. Go ahead.
okay, this is my side of the story.
Burns my tail.
32,000.
I thought it 30.
You could have the kids from the school do it for less than that.
Yeah.
But the point is this.
And it's going to be at the same speed?
Yes.
Yeah, Eugene and Golden.
Yeah.
And they made a ramp, they made the road go up there. I think they did that, it's,
To slow the traffic.
yeah, and it won't be as much wear and tear on the paint. But this is
So you're
it.
going to make the paint higher, so it won't be as much
Stuff
wear.
like this should be something that is voted on in some way.
Right.
Because it's all of us, but these stripes aren't acknowledging all of us. Whether you like it or not, they're not.
No, they aren't.
And
They weren't
we
in the
had
first place.
we had Chef Tom, right? Who had a program going to where people could go to the Elks Club, and it was like a little store down there. People that didn't have any money and they needed food and whatever, they could go in there and shop, and then leave, and it won't cost them anything.
Really?
He was also doing
Wish somebody told
taking.
me.
You're not middle class. You don't get it. He used to
Of course I am.
deliver food to seniors. He would deliver it to where
Yeah.
you stay,
And I'm a
right?
senior
Yeah.
too.
Somebody was
and the-
asking me
and
about
the
it just
city-
the other day.
Cut his budget. So all that stuff closed down. So these people, I don't know where they're going for their food. But the thing of it is, do you people in New London really think stripes on a street are more important than feeding the hungry in our city? If you do, you suck. That's
And
all.
how much, I heard this was going to cost $30,000.
Yeah, something like that.
32,000.
And for what?
This council is so moronic. I mean, absolutely stupid to think that you're wasting my tax dollars on this crap. You want Pride Month? Be my guest.
But the point,
Pay for it yourself.
But
It
the-
shouldn't have to be for us. For the people that don't necessarily. What are you doing for people who aren't gay? What are you doing for the people who are straight? Nothing. Because 1% or 2% of the population decides they want to be something different from what the Bible says,
That's their decision.
that's
And-
fine. You want to be
Right.
gay, you want to be
That's right.
lesbian, you want to be. Transsexuals are absolutely stupid.
watch your heart now.
I don't care. They're stupid. If you actually believe you're a trans and you tell me, oh, I think I'm a woman, then you really are as
I
dumb
do.
as dumb
I think
as
I am.
Dirt.
You have no idea about DNA or anything.
One other point I want to make about this
And we have a call.
stripes.
Yeah.
I'll take the call first.
Good evening, you're on.
It's only me again.
Hi.
Dennis, I have to correct you
Okay.
on the food insecurity thing. There are numerous food pantries in New London that people can go to. They have
They're
the
not that
American
many.
Legion is now taking over the food pantry that was held at the senior center.
Where's
In
the American
Lyme.
Legion?
Wait a minute.
It's on Garfield Avenue.
Okay.
the Elks
Garfield
Club.
and
As a-
so there's plenty of food there. Now, that was the one that used to be at
They
the
run
senior
out, they
center,
run.
not through the senior center. Then there is the one at the VFW, that's twice a week. And that was the one that was held at, Karen help me, where was it held? It was OIC. It was held at OIC. Salvation Army also has food.
Yeah.
One of the
But
churches.
Cheryl, there used to
What?
be twice as many, if not more, pantries.
But when
Yeah.
when do they
But there's-
when do
but
they
what
have
I'm
these?
saying
Wait a
is,
minute.
there is more. Granted, and I could go on and on about this.
When
We have heard horror stories about what some of the people do with the food.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sell it. And also the churches have food pantries. And a lot of the people that go to these food pantries, not everyone, but you guys get on a roll, so I'm going to be on a roll. They go to every one of them. Now,
You're right.
I've seen the lines of people. Now, I don't know if they're all from New London. I don't know if Waterford East Lyme is sending them to New London. Who knows? But my point is, there are a lot of food pantries around, so there should be nobody that has food insecurity.
All right, let me ask you a couple points here since you're picking on me.
I'm not picking on you.
I
I'm just,
know, I
I'm
know.
just making you understand that people and I'm sure a lot of the people that go to these food pantries also get food stamps. They may not get enough unless they have a big family. I can't imagine you going to 3 to 5 food pantries a week and still having food insecurity. That's just my opinion.
Okay,
Now,
so let me
remember
ask.
remember the show, In My Opinion?
Yes.
Well, that's my opinion.
what
Okay.
days? You didn't say what days they
They're
offer.
different days.
Oh, they're different days.
Okay, so Cheryl.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is American Legion. And, and also, wait a minute, there's another one, the fourth Wednesday of the month at the old synagogue on Ocean Avenue. I don't know who that's run by.
That's Project Learn.
Yeah, but Project Learn isn't running it. They're just using that bill. So what I'm saying
You're
is,
right. There is a lot of different pantries
there was
around, but
Twice as many.
But the thing is, when you look at like the one on Montauk Avenue and stuff, those are people. A lot of them are like homeless, and there's some
that's
people.
a food. That's the soup kitchen. That's the soup
It's
kitchen.
still a place. All these places you talk about, can you walk in there and get a bag full of food and take it home?
No, you have to. I think you have to go to the food pantries, not the soup.
Where's
kitchen.
the food
The
pantries?
one on
I
Broad
just
Street?
told you.
Okay, so at all those places you told me, people can go in there
Yep.
and shop and fill up a cart or whatever and
Oh,
take it
yeah.
home.
Yep.
That really?
Yep. And the one on Ocean Avenue, when they have that once a
I
month.
might stand. I might.
You can wait a minute. When you go back once, the one on Ocean Avenue at Learn, you can go back 2 and 3 times at the same day.
So who's
That's how
paying?
much food-
Who's paying for these pantries?
Probably our taxes in the state, in the country. I don't know. And if you're a senior, you can also get a food box once a month. So
Maybe
you know,
I'm- maybe
you
I
know
was
how
wrong.
I feel.
Down
You know
and
how I
down
feel
and down
about
and
everybody
down.
getting everything for free.
Well,
Cheryl,
this-
Cheryl. Cheryl, do you get any of this?
I get one thing, the box from the senior center. That's it. And that is not enough to feed you for one day because it's very limited.
What day does the senior center give out boxes?
One
Well,
day a month.
if that's see, I've never gone to any of them because I feel like those are meant for people that are down and out that
Right.
don't have a choice. Not everybody likes being in that position, but you got to do what you got to do to stay alive and stay fed. But what gets me going is when these people go to these places and they don't need it. They're just going to fill up something or other. I
Well,
mean,
there are some people that do go and they give it to people that they know that don't want to go, can't go, or
there's a lot of
can't go.
abuse in this, right?
Well, there's a lot of abuse in everything. That's a given.
That's true.
That's a good way
But
not to
when
correct
I
any.
heard months ago that somebody had said some people they sell some of the food. Now, why would you sell it unless you need money?
There's
You
people
need
who sell their
drugs? Do you
food
need
stamps.
alcohol? I don't know. But anyway,
All right. Well, thank you for that, Cheryl. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
All right, so if you need to go walk through and pick out what you want for free,
I don't think
you
there's
just got to
enough.
stand in line for hours.
No.
All right, goodbye.
right.
I'm done for the night. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Go
Cheryl.
Okay. Okay. This is an interesting article. It's in Chicago, but it's meant for a lot of places throughout the nation. They're seeing an uptick on victims fighting back, and it comes down to people that have a license to carry a gun. They're carrying the gun, and they're not afraid to use it to protect themselves. This one guy, what?
Vigilantism?
No, not vigilante. It's just pure American protecting your property. This guy was breaking into this family's house, and the guy shot him, and the guy's dead now. So hey, well, you want to think you're a tough ass and go break in someone's house. This is what's going to happen.
Good.
Yeah.
It's shoot.
Bang.
But anyways, this is what's going to happen more and more, and especially if you vote for Biden back in office, you're
know
going to
what gets
see
me
this.
so
You're going
angry?
to see this. You're going to see
Yeah.
people shooting back.
You know what gets me so angry? That they're telling people that Trump is going to be a dictator. And that just drives me
So
out.
who's doing what to their opponent in this race? about
Biden
it.
is doing, oh yeah,
Yeah.
who's doing what?
Who would
And
do that normally?
Trump,
The
hey,
dictator.
Trump, you know what Trump said? Yeah, I'll be a dictator for one day.
And they blew that all out of proportion.
He's going to reverse everything what Biden did against Trump on day one. And I really don't care what I don't understand how any Democrat would say, I will vote for Harris if something happens to Biden. I mean, Harris is worse than Biden, if that's even possible. So,
How much
with
time?
with the cackling and everything like that. However, thank you, Drew. Anyway, Trump is an American. He's a patriot. He wants America to be great again. What do you think Biden wants? He gives away money to all these countries that hate us.
Yeah, that's really good. Hey, let me buy you some guns so you can shoot us.
And he was the one that went in front of the Ukrainian people before he was vice president and told
Yeah.
them, you don't stop, tell that lawyer to get off the case, or you're not, it was going against his son, you're not getting the $1 billion we promised you.
Yeah.
He's the one
That right
who
there
caused
was
the
illegal.
problem in Afghanistan at the very
Yeah.
beginning by getting out. He's the one that gave Russia and China the impetus to start going against everybody, and everybody knows how weak he is. He's the one that opened the borders, and this thing that he just signed now, the executive order, is a joke.
Oh yeah, that's something, huh?
Isn't it?
The-
$2,500 a day? Yeah, sure.
do the math. I want you folks out there to do the math. See how many that is a year. It's well
almost
over a million.
It's a million, they said.
Oh, it's more
But-
than that.
He is the one that has caused inflation. He's lied through his teeth through his whole presidency.
Maybe he can't help himself. Maybe
They're not his
maybe it's-
teeth.
Huh?
They're not his teeth.
Well, then maybe not. But you know what? The other thing is, think about it. They're all liars. That's why Congress has a 12% approval rating. They're all liars. And they can't help themselves. That's the way they're going to get reelected. They have to lie and tell falsehoods. There may be a couple of people there, maybe you can count them on one hand, that can actually tell the truth. But Biden, when he says inflation was 9% when I took office, is just a flat out
Oh,
lie.
people
They've already
can't-
been fact checked about it. It was 1.4%. Gas was under $2 or $2. And everybody still thinks he's going to be better for this country.
Not everybody.
Well, 50%.
I think there's a lot of Democrats out there that are not going to vote for him, but they don't want to say anything.
But I agree with what you said earlier.
What?
And I said this before. come the Democrat convention, they're going to dump Biden. They have no choice.
They'll find a nice way to do it and talk
They
about
have
how
no
great he
choice
was.
to dump him because the man is a moron. And you keep saying they're going to put Michelle in there. Hillary might as well just
supposedly-
slit her throat because nobody's going to vote for her.
No, she's done.
I think they're going to pick Newsom. But he's a joke to begin with for how he's ruined California.
Oh, and he's still doing
So
it.
it may be Michelle now. I don't know. But honestly,
What does she know about running the country?
I don't think she wants it.
I don't think she does
She's
either.
very happy with her $100 million, her $12 million mansion on Martha's Vineyard.
All right, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you pay for flood insurance?
Yes. You have to if you have a mortgage.
I have a mortgage and I don't pay for flood
You're
insurance.
not in a flood zone.
Okay. So everybody in a flood zone has to pay the insurance.
If
Of course,
they have a
that's-
mortgage.
Yeah, if they have a mortgage.
My neighbors across the street don't have a mortgage. They don't have to pay for flood insurance.
I've been hearing a lot of people are giving up their insurance on their houses because they can't afford them.
You don't have to have insurance on your house.
No, I always thought you did, but I just want to say for all you people that have flood insurance, it's supposedly going up.
Well, thanks to
But how can you have flood insurance if a flood is an act of God?
it may be an act of God, but at least you have insurance to pay for it if something happens.
Can you
and
get-
you have to prove it was due to a flood.
Can you get insurance for hurricanes?
Yes,
Really?
I think you can.
So
Yeah,
if
well,
a tree,
a lot
if
of
a
people
tree
tell you
knocks
have to have
down
hurricane windows if you're in a flood zone. In that
hurricane, yeah. But if my neighbor's tree falls down during a hurricane and it takes out part of my house,
That's what homeowners insurance is for.
okay. Because I know when I was in the bands and we had to sign contracts, it was always, well, if it's an act of God, then we don't have to pay you, and they wouldn't. Like if it rained or something.
Oh, if it rains and they cancel
Yeah.
and you paid them, they have to. No.
No. I meant if we were going to do a gig somewhere, and the contract that you signed with some of these places that you're going to perform, it has some conditions to it, and one of them used to be, if for some reason a snowstorm or a flood or a hurricane or any of that stuff happens, then that's considered an act of God, and that we don't have to honor the contract.
No, I bet you there's.
No.
I'll bet you now that's not. No, they're going to have to refund. What about? But here's something to consider. You have a tree that's technically on your property, but it falls down and hits your neighbor's house. Who do you think's responsible?
I would say you would be.
Yes.
Yeah, well, of course. But do you also know that you can cut down the part of the tree that's over your yard?
Yeah, we just had a lot of it. Then the guy said that the tree is probably dying, or that area that he cut down was dead.
Down by your house.
Bye-bye. Thanks
for watching.
Tell everybody, we need you to come back. There's somebody down, I think on Lola Boulevard, that had a tree fall.